All right, so today we're getting back to work on the Suzuki X90. Hillbilly's got a ton of stuff he's gonna be doing to the frame, but we have a super awesome thing happening right now. We are starting our Black Friday sale a month early. The reason for that, we wanna make sure that you guys get your merchandise by Christmas. So by doing it a month early, there should be no issues. So starting today is our Black Friday special, and there's gonna be more about that here in a little bit, so let's get to work. In our last video, Henry from Donut Media dropped off his Suzuki X90 that he drove across the country from Rhode Island to California. He's been challenged by Jay Leno to enter a car show in his hometown back in Rhode Island called 30 Under 30. That's why Henry brought it to us, because this thing needs a lot of work. After moving the body onto a cart, Hillbilly got right to work removing everything else that was attached to this frame. He pulled the engine out, all the fuel and brake lines, took the crossmember out, and then he got the ball hitch off. After that, the gas tank was ready to drop. Then he got the gearbox, all the steering, and removed the shocks. Finally, he used the lift to kind of dangle everything until it fell off the frame. All right, so Hillbilly spent the entire day, got this all stripped down. We're gonna get this taken outside, get it loaded on the trailer, and we're taking this to Salt Lake to our friend Kevin at Powder Extreme Coatings. He's gonna sandblast and powder coat this entire frame. It's gonna be a perfect Suzuki X90. Even though it is already perfect, it's gonna be even more perfect. While the frame was at Powder Extreme Coatings, Hillbilly got to work tearing apart the donor body for the X90.
Okay, so all I got left to do inside now is the carpet, side panels, back panels, upper side panels, roof, other side panels, heater core, and all the wiring, and then the inside will be stripped.
Look at this glorious pile of crap. I mean, this beautiful Suzuki X90, or should I say soon to be beautiful.
Okay, I'm working on getting these doors stripped. More sanding. I'm just sanding it to get rid of the clear coat, so that way the primer will actually stick like it's supposed to.
All right, so like we said, today is the start of our Black Friday, Cyber Monday, one time a year sale. So the entire website, as of right now, is 20% off. But that's not it. You hit $50, you're getting free shipping. You spend $100,
you get a sticker pack.
That sticker pack right here, this is worth 25 bucks. You're not getting 1, 2, 3, 4, but 5 stickers.
I think there's 6.
4, oh, there is 6. I almost told you guys wrong. You spent $100 on the website, make sure you add the sticker pack to your cart. Head over there right now, click that link in the description, go get yourself an awesome
Hoodie, that fits great. Hat,
go get yourself a black Robby Layton shirt. Go get yourself a gray Robby Layton shirt.
black hat.
We've got patches.
Comes with the Velcro.
We've also got non-Velcro patches for the guys that want to sew their own patches on, or the ladies. Get yourself a black Bronx Star shirt. Check it out. You can look just as good as Hillbilly in his Bronx Star shirt. But if you don't want a Bronx Star shirt, why don't you get yourself a black Robby Layton shirt? You can look just as good as Hillbilly in this amazing black Robby Layton shirt with our awesome logo. So don't wait. 20% off every one of these awesome items. Sale is until Monday night at midnight. Quantities are limited, so make sure you guys click the link in the description. Head over to robbylayton.com, get yourself some merch. We're saving 20% off store-wide, free shipping after 50 bucks, and a free sticker pack if you spend $100 or more. Click the link in the description, and let's get back to the video.
So I gotta clean this hood up before I can scuff it up. I'm just using glass cleaner so I don't make a big mess. Okay, so I had to bust out my eraser wheel because there's 2 black pinstripe stickers. So I have to eraser wheel those off. Now I'm just, with the gray Scotch-Brite, getting the spots that the DA couldn't get to. Now I'm just gonna go through and find any dents. One there, one there, one there. So it only has just a couple more or less rock chip dings. Oh, forgot one right here. And it's a good sized one. That's like someone else's door hit it and put a ding in it. So get that marked. Now I'm gonna start working on the fender. If any of you guys know what this is, it's a body line marker. Clearance the fenders a little bit more, so I'm just gonna mark the fender like this. Now it's time to go through and mark the dents on this fender that I finished sanding. One right there. Couple little ones right there. One right there. Okay, the hood's all sanded. Now I'm gonna go through and mark all the damaged dents that need to be fixed. Here's one. This whole front corner, as you can see, all the ripples. Here's one, right here, right here. Then there's the wiring. Got a couple stickers I have to remove, it looks like. Suzuki X90 stickers. Okay, got the trunk all sanded. Now it's time to go through and mark dents. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Okay, if you see paint chips like this, I gotta feather those out, which means you sand it more in that spot so that way there's not a sharp crack and the paint just feathers out. Two hours later, and roughly changing out my sandpaper 10 different times, I got 1/4 panel almost done. So now I'm gonna move to the driver's side and start getting it sanded.
All right, so me and Hillbilly and Cody are working on the bodywork. So I've went along and I've ground everything down. Now I'm feathering it out. Hillbilly's working on the bumper. Cody's working on the deck lid. We're just gonna keep pounding and getting stuff done.
Gotta take the bumper all the way down to bare plastic. We gotta do a bunch of work on it. Crack through right there. It's all smashed and crushed in and bubbled out down here.
All right, on the deck lid, they got rid of the factory spoiler, so we filled in the holes here, here, and here. And I think the new one they put on here was from a Subaru. So we've got these holes here. We got to fix a little where they damaged, grinding down the welds, fixing a few little dings Hillbilly found on it. Then we'll just keep moving right along.
So I went through and I feathered out all of the dented areas in the fenders, the two doors, and the hood. So I'm gonna get them all cleaned up. Then, time to start pulling all the dents with the stud puller and figuring out where I need to put filler, but there's some hard dents in here.
But it looks like the whole hood needs filler.
Dang near. You can see there's a good portion of the hood that's gonna get filler. This is just a thin dent there, a dent here, and a few little dents up here and dings. So what we'll do is we'll start going through and pulling everything, and once all the metal work is done on everything, then I'll start spreading filler. That way, when I get to one end, putting filler on, I can start sanding the other side.
About ready to start fixing this bumper. What I'm gonna do first is, right here, it's like it got hit and smashed in. So I'm gonna heat it up and reform that spot to the way it's supposed to be. It is now hot enough. So now I go under. Push down hard. So now I'm going to sand it and see where my low spots are now. Decided to go get the actual bumper stand. So that way it's not moving all over the place. So I'm trying to push on it. So I got most of it all flattened out. There's a couple little humps. There's one right here, one right here I got to do. Not much, it's getting there. Looks like so far there's just a little spot that needs a little bit of finishing cream. Besides that, this grill actually is in really good shape. Okay, so I got to clean the plastic where I've sanded everything. Plastic reducer. And that cleans the plastic and gets rid of any kind of contaminants on the oil or oils or anything on the plastic, so that way it creates a better bond. Take a piece of this aluminum tape on the outside and put it on there to help hold the plastic where it needs to be, and that way it doesn't push any plastic through as you're welding. Cut your excess off. Okay, now I'll take this off. Give me a new piece, put it on the back, and go again. Just work it side to side, like you're welding. Make half moon shapes. This is how Robby does it, so. Now I'm gonna use the plastic iron and smoothing it out. Now I gotta pull the tape off the inside. Take a DA and sand this all flat and flush like it's supposed to be. Taking some of this plastic reducer to clean it up. And then I'll go get the adhesion promoter. Now start to go. Now we just let it sit and set up. It's not tacky at all, so I'm good to sand.
All right, we already got fiberglass over the weld holes, and now we're just putting a skim coat of Bondo on the areas where we welded. And there was damage here from the old spoiler. It was sunk in. Pull it, had to shrink it down a little bit, stiffen it up. So a little bit of skim coat here. We'll get those taken care of. We got a couple little dings after that we'll hit, and then this will be ready for prime, and we'll move on to one of the other parts we got. Okay, we got the body filler set up on the trunk lid. We'll get it sanded down, ice it, fill any pinholes if we have any.
Starting to feel pretty good. Got what feels like a little bit of a low spot right there. It's coming along.
All right, we got the filler knocked down. We're gonna get our coat of glaze on here to fine tune it. Just get it smashed down into the scratches so we get a good bond. So we'll get it on there, sand her down, just sand, sand, sand. And
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hurry and start pulling the metal so that I can go and get some filler and get this thing fixed. So all these need is just a little baby bump, just one bump. So I went along and I taped everything. Now I'm just gonna come through here. All I wanna do is lift the metal. Just little baby holes. Oh yeah, we got one right here. This metal is just moving like it's nothing. So that's all this one needs. So I'll hurry and do a little bit of hammer work. Get rid of my little pull marks. You can see the metal is lifted back to where it needs to be. Just feels a little bit. Perfect. All right, so this door is ready for a little bit of filler. We'll do a little bit of filler. We'll block that all out and we'll skim coat it. So what I'm gonna do is keep going down the road, doing metal work. So I don't want to over pull it, so I'm going to take it slow. And I've got a hump here that's got to come out, but that's got to be tapped out. What I'm going to do is I'll put the stud puller on it. I'll lift up. And I'll check it. Oh yeah. All right, so you can kind of see where all my pulling pins were. I've got this to where it feels really good. So what I'll do next is I'll grind this all. I'll fill it again. Tap a few high spots if there are any, pull some low spots, and call it a day. I'm gonna hurry and DA this so that my hand can fill it correctly, and then I'll let you guys know what I think. Feels a little bit low through here, so I'm just gonna hurry and tap here a little. So these are the tools that matter. These thingies. You just want to kind of look away and fill it. Really be one with the metal. I got a little bit low right here. I'm going to pull that. So I've got this pretty well right where I want it. So I'm gonna finish pulling all the metal on the rest of the parts. Then I'll get some plastic fillers spread on it, and we'll show you guys that here in a little bit.
Getting pretty close to having this bumper looking pretty good.
All right, so last night I got as far as I could get, but the doors are ready to be 320'd and primered. The fenders are ready to be cut, 320'd, then primed. Now we're working on the hood. So we've got everything done except for this hood. Got all the metal work finished up last night. I'm gonna finish sanding my plastic filler, get this all down, and then we should have all these parts ready to prime.
There's a couple items that I forgot in the engine bay that I've been stripping out because I have to sand and prep the whole inside of the engine bay so it can get sprayed also.
So this has been hit, obviously. So we need to get all of this sanded to where we can figure out if we're going to repair this or if we're going to take it off the other one and put on here. So we might change the upper tie bar off the other car. Not really certain yet, but
There's also a great big rip
oh yeah.
right there. It runs along the whole outside.
So yeah, we'll definitely be needing to weld that up. Looks like that's torn out. So got a little bit of work to do. So we need to get glass out of this. This car has so much work, but it's going to be awesome when it drives to Rhode Island.
Switching parts over from donor car frame to the frame that we're using. We want the car looking as new as possible.
Yeah, so we're taking pieces from Scrapyard X90 to hopefully make this thing look a little more pristine.
So literally 16 hours later, we have all the bodywork finished on the X90 parts. Now we've got to go do the front end and we've got to do the quarter panels. For this hood, I might as well have just built it out of plastic filler. But we finally got all the dents fixed. I was chasing dents for days. Finally got them. So I'm trying to, this isn't going to be show quality perfect. It is going to be black, so I want to try to make it look half decent. Got a lot more to do, but we'll get this sanded up. We should be able to prime all the parts here in a little bit.
Getting to work on the quarter panels, going through, finding a few dents. A little previous body work was there. So we'll get it pulled, see how thick that stuff is. If it's a little too thick, we'll get it taken off and then pull the metal some more so we got the least amount as possible. Other than that, there's not as much work on these as the rest of the car, so hopefully it'll fly by quick and be out of here early tonight.
So I'm getting this upper tie bar all cut off. We're gonna be straightening up the apron and cutting the upper tie bar off of the other X90 to put back on here. So got all the other body work done. Cody's working on the quarter panels, getting the windshield out. I'm getting the tie bar off. Henry's working on the axle. Everybody's working on everything. Hillbilly's gone.
Went for a test drive on the Harley.
Yeah, took his Harley out for a rip, eh? Bada bang. So the reason I'm changing this is this has been wrecked before. You can just see it's been trashed. So our other tie bar, our other upper tie bar has some damage from rust, but I'd rather take rust than it being crushed. So what I'll do, I'm gonna get this all straightened up. We're gonna try to get in here and fix this apron up, see what we can't do. Then we'll go cut that tie bar off. So I got this out a little bit. This was all crushed in here. So I'm gonna hammer and dolly this area, and then I'm gonna smash this back down flat. I've overpulled it a little bit, but sometimes you gotta overpull to get it where you need it. So I'm gonna get this all center punched, get my drill bit, and we're gonna drill all the way through this tie bar so that we can re-weld it onto the other car. So what I'm doing here is I have a 5/16 inch drill bit. I went through and center punched every one of the holes. Now I'm gonna drill through them, which is gonna separate the outer tie bar from the inner support. Last one. Right before the rain's coming. I've got to disconnect this brace support and get this upper tie bar off. So, like that. That one's off. When you drill things correctly,
sometimes it comes off like it should. Like this one's still connected right here. These ones right here. So here's our ticket. Just like that. Now you're moving upper tie bar to be reused.
I think you got it just in time.
Right as the rain's coming down.
Coming now.
All we gotta do is put this back in here. We'll get this side clamped where it needs to be and start working everything. All right, so before I put this upper tie bar on, I wanna make sure that everything is weld through primed. I'm just gonna go through, weld through prime it. Then that way I don't have to take my upper tie bar back off as soon as I get it fit up. So any of your bare metal, weld through prime. All right, so as you can see, I have clamps everywhere. I've got a monkey on a stick, but this front end trams out. So we're gonna grab the welder. I'm gonna start getting this plug welded in. We're gonna fix the cracks. And this front end is gonna be all repaired. It's gonna be great. It's gonna make its way to Rhode Island. First plug weld, done. So this side is fully welded up. With all my plug welds welded, now I need to move on to the other side. That was the easy side. I've got the front tie bar all finished up and welded. Now I just need to grind it, seam seal it, and then we can paint it. Cody's got the quarter panels all finished up. He's just doing a few more detail things, and then this X90 body swap donor will be ready to get primed. Hillbilly just about started to grind on that gas tank.
I did not.
Yeah, he did.
I told him to. I said, this is a
Henry-
really good idea.
Henry believed it to be a good idea.
And I know what I'm talking about.
And I thought it was a good idea too, until this new tool came. So we're gonna hurry and put this oscillating tool together real quick, and Hillbilly's gonna use it to blow the gas tank up.
See how good this works.
No big boom!
Wow,
Smooth as butter.
that's cool.
You can sand with it. Just getting the motor where we can get it set in place, because that's the next step, is getting the motor put in.
So Hillbilly and Henry are putting the motor in. Robby's in here, and he is going over what needs to be primed.
All right, so we're getting all the parts for the X90 in here. Ready, prepped, etched, and then we're gonna prime them. I've got some help in here. They're getting it all ready. They've got it all waxed and greased. And we'll come in here and spray some primer. This needs to connect here.
Yeah.
So it literally just needs to connect. So Henry, why does it have a rubber hose on that?
Because it was so rusted when I tried to reconnect to the fuel filter, it just busted. So I just cut it and put a whole bunch of hose clamps on there. Because I didn't have a flare tool in Rhode Island.
It got you here.
It got me all the way here. It seems like it only leaked a little bit. I mean, we could probably get away with just flaring that and putting another soft hose on it.
All right, well, I think what I'll do is I'm gonna go get a union and we're gonna reverse double flare it, and I'm gonna actually couple this back together, get that fuel line done. Looks like they've got the motor and tranny in. You guys are coming along very, very nicely. Woo! So the chances of this driving to Rhode Island are, instead of slim, they're sort of slim.
But we're a little anxious about getting it done by the deadline.
Yeah.
It might just be the frame and motor.
Yeah, the frame and motor will for sure be done by your deadline.
I'll just be standing with a steering wheel.
Hey, you didn't say which year.
I'm putting the power steering back on. So once I get the power steering on, then I can put the radiator supports in, put the radiator in, the fan shroud. The frame's getting pretty close to being done.
Now I'm just installing this front drive line right now, then we're moving on to the rear drive line, and we'll be cooking.
So I'm reverse double flaring this. I've already got my other piece flared. We're gonna put a union in it and have this fuel line repaired correctly.
Who said it was incorrectly? It got him where he needed to go.
You talked before I put my nut on. Dang it. Don't do as I do. I screwed up. Didn't I make fun of Justin at Summit for that?
Yep.
Dang it. All right, we're gonna do this again. I needed just a little bit more room, so I spun the banjo.
Okay, after we got the quarters done, fixed on here, so the tires won't rub. We got it primed last night. Me, Jorge, come in and prepped it out this morning, and now we're getting it masked up. So after Robby gets done with that batch in the booth, we will get this in this afternoon, get it painted black, and Paul will be here in the morning to do the graphics on it.
Just getting the spare tire prepped, so that way we can get it painted, so that way the raw metal right here don't rust. So I'll just keep at it.
Just working on the trunk right now, getting it masked off. We ain't gonna paint the inside of the trunk or the cab because it all gets covered back with the interior. But we will be doing all this under here, doing the wheel wells, rockers, doing the engine bay, radiator support, all that will be getting painted black. And then the graphics will come on and you guys will just have to wait and see what the graphics are gonna be on this.
All right, so we've gotten a ton of stuff done on this little Suzuki X90, but there's still a ton of stuff to go. It's been a long week. Hillbilly busted his butt. Tune in next week. We're gonna have way more stuff that we're doing on the Suzuki X90. Can't wait to show you guys. But as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.